Thank you for listening to The Red View. Analysis, opinions and general idiocy from Manchester United supporters.
Can you hear everything then? Yeah.
No, I can't actually.
Don't laugh at your job description.
I need.
Right,
No, I can't hear it, but you know, do you know what I mean?
Philosophy. So.
Right, just whenever you're ready, John.
Okay, ready? Hello and welcome to the first ever podcast of The Red View, where each week we will be reviewing and discussing everything related to Manchester United. Firstly, just to introduce our panel of avid Man United fans, we have sports coach Paul Costello, media man and European football expert Matt Shaw, statistician and part-time philosopher Adam Sutton, and finally your presenter-in-chief, John Watson. Each week we'll be reviewing United's last match, giving our opinions on the team's performance and which players impressed or flopped, discussing the latest transfer rumours and club news, looking forward to the next game and giving our predictions, as well as many other features which will unravel as the weeks go on. So good evening to the panel.
Good evening.
Right.
Let's now start and kick this off by looking at Man United's narrow victory over Villa on Friday evening, where an Adnan Januzaj goal gave United a 1-0 victory at Villa Park and maintained their 100% record for the season. So were you happy with the performance, Shaw, or was the result more important at this stage of the season?
Well, it was definitely better than the Spurs game. I thought we managed to control the game much better than against Spurs, but yeah, we're really lacking in that final third still with Rooney up there. Can I just read you out a quote about Rooney?
Yeah.
This was from last season, actually. Above all, he has lost that sense of absolute joyful certainty in his own powers, reduced instead at times to whirling about fretfully between the lines like a dying crab, eyes fogged with grit, garbling brine and scurf, pincers snapping at empty air.
Wow. Was that Van Gaal?
No, no, it wasn't. But I just think Rooney, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's played a lot of football when he was 18, 19, and that kind of thing slows him down. But
I've heard it tell you.
We look blunt.
Didn't seem to have a good game, did he, really?
No, not at all.
So, as much documented, it was Adnan Januzaj's first start since February. How do you rate his performance, Sutton? And do you welcome him back into the first team?
I think for now you do welcome him back, but I think it's very much dependent on the signings we had. I mean, the goal was good. We all agree with that, but I didn't see much else from him during the rest of the game. And I think if we sign Pedro, you simply send him out on loan because you've got young Depay, however have we decided how we're saying it?
We'll go Depay.
Well,
Depay.
He wants Memphis, doesn't he?
Yeah. Right. Let's go.
Tennessee.
So you got young Memphis, Mata, possibly Pedro, playing for three positions. I just don't think we need Januzaj this season. I really don't. So I think
you should probably loan him.
Get him out. That, like I said, that's dependent on signings. If we don't sign anyone, we're going to need him, I think.
You wouldn't get rid of him though, you just loan him.
Yeah, I still think he'll come good, but I just think at the minute he's just not quite up to the level.
He keeps getting shrugged off the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah.
A lot of times against Villa.
I'm not saying he's in any way relating to Ronaldo, but if you remember Ronaldo's first 2 years at United, and they said one-trick pony, he's very weak, and then he came back one summer and he was massive. He worked on his strength and everything. So you never know, he could come good.
I didn't see why we played Januzaj in the middle and Mata out wide though. I sort of would like to see us switching those positions a lot more during the game because I think Mata in number 10 is probably his best position.
Yeah, there should be more fluid.
And Januzaj has historically played on the wing, so we seemed quite sort of rigid in where people were set up, which I didn't fully understand. But
that's fine. Well, bringing us on to signings, mentioned Depay. How do we think Depay go to Shaw? How do you think Depay is looking first couple of games?
He's just finding his feet at the minute. He's obviously missed that amazing chance when Matt put him through. Another game that goes in the back of the net. He's saying he had a good game, but I genuinely think he'll be fantastic signing for us. It's just going to take a bit of time, but I don't know where he's going to play him.
Well, he said he's going to take a while to figure out his best position, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I think he'll try him in a few different places. He looked really good in number 10 in pre-season, but you can't really look too much into that, can you?
We've played like 3 games, don't we?
Actually, I'm pre-season expert.
Yeah.
Predictably good pre-season.
Yeah. So looking at new signings on that point, Bastian Schweinsteiger started from the bench again as he regains his match fitness. So Paul, from a coaching point of view, what do you think he'll be doing to rediscover that sharpness at sort of win countless trophies?
Yeah, it's an interesting one with Schweinsteiger because I did a bit of research into what Roy Keane did to overcome his big cruciate ligament injury in 1998. And same position, same kind of player, really. What Keane did is a lot of work on the bikes to gain and strengthen his legs, which is really important. Also, apparently, a lot of interval training helps. Obviously, interval training is suited to football because sometimes you're doing high intensity stuff on the ball, and sometimes low intensity stuff. When you're not on the ball, just getting back to doing things in short bursts, and obviously in training, going back to the basics like simple passing and set pieces to regain his confidence. I'm sure that in training they do lots of small-sided games that obviously allow for more touches of the ball. So I just suggest, I'm sure that they're doing all these things. So just suggest keep doing it, keep getting on for the last half an hour, and that half an hour will eventually become just the whole second half, and before we know it, it'll be in for the full game. But yeah, it'll take a bit of time.
And do you think he'll come good for United, or do you think he'll be a squad player?
I think he'll be good for United. I really do, but I'm not quite sure he's going to be as potentially as important as some people think. I still think Schneiderlin's our best signing of the summer, personally. But I do think Schweinsteiger will be important. Whenever he comes on the pitch, obviously seems to give everyone a bit of a lift, and he's obviously a big name. But
there's real competition there, isn't there, now in centre mid?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know people's thoughts. I mean, you've got lots of options suddenly now. He's signed 2 or 3 centre mids.
Well, we're back in the Champions League, and I think that was a big factor for bringing Schweinsteiger back in.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got a few players in that squad now that haven't really played much Champions League footy. Think of Schneiderlin, Shaw, Darmian.
Even like Blind and Hierro, I suppose, haven't had extreme exposure to the Champions League after. So yeah,
it's not just what he brings on the pitch, is it, with Schweinsteiger? And again, if there was a lot of talk about Ramos earlier in the window, again, it's not what players like that sort of necessarily brings. Obviously, they add to the first team, but it's just, like I said, all these young players that just get put alongside people that were just born to win, isn't it? That's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
He was put on this planet to win, wasn't he?
He really was.
If he loses, he's like, what is this? He doesn't understand losing, does he? So,
and even against Villa, you could see players like Luke Shaw were looking for him and looking to give him the ball and just ease a lot of the pressure when we were...
I think we looked a lot calmer when he was on the pitch.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just the natural ebb of the game, but... I think there was a lot less panicking, and we had control of the game when he came on.
Yeah. Had a few good touches.
He brought Herrera on as well, didn't he? And obviously,
he helped as well.
Yeah. But I mean, good signs in terms of 2 clean sheets, which has been something that's been desperately lacking the last 2-3 years, really. So which is a good sign. He's brought Darmian in, who I'm sure you've seen a fair bit of him last couple of years. You rate him?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of him he's just fantastic going forward. Good, solid at the back. He's not afraid to get involved with the dark arts, shall we say? You saw him against Richards in that game. He was marking him in that corner. He had his finger in his eye. And that.
Yeah.
I just think we need that kind of thing, especially going into the Champions League. But I just don't see any weaknesses with Darmian. I just think it's a quality player to bring in there.
And finally, Blint at centre back, which is a bit of an experiment, but I mean, so far it's paid off. Although he's not been hugely tested by a towering centre forward yet. What do we think? How do we think that'll go for?
Well, yeah, I think Blint against some of the lower league opposition will be fine centre back. He's quite calm. He's quite good in the ball. He's good to pass the ball out, and we saw him last year. He's a competent player. But however, I do think against the top teams and best centre forwards, he might struggle. However, having said that, he seems to do okay against Harry Kane on the first game of the season. So, a bit undecided on that, really. All I'll say is that if we're playing Real Madrid Champions League semi-final against Benzema, Ronaldo and Bale, I wouldn't be too confident about it. But, yeah.
I think, to be fair, there's a few defenders that you'd be confident with in the world.
Yeah, that's good. But certainly not.
Yeah, I'll take your point.
I can't believe Villa didn't put Gested on him.
No.
From the first minute and just knock balls into him. I can't believe they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Maybe they thought pace against Blint. I mean, Smalling had a fantastic game. His pace, and it brings us nicely on to man of the match. Obviously given to Daley Blind, but what do people think on man of the match? Should it have been Blind, do you think?
I think Juan Mata, personally.
Yeah.
I think he created, obviously, the assist for the goal, which Yamazaki took well. And then the second half, he slipped the pie in, which was all but a goal. Yeah. And in what was a pretty sort of drab game, really, for us, he's essentially decided it with 2 killer passes. He gave the ball away a few times, which is unlike him, but I think there wasn't really a standout player as such, and he was the difference. So I think I'll go with him. I think.
Yeah, fantastic. I'd have said Smalling myself, actually. I appreciate he got man of the match against Spurs, I believe, but I think he's every day he's getting better, really. He's, him and Jones. We all thought Jones was the one coming through. Jones's progress seems to have stalled, and Smalling suddenly seems really good for the last 12 months, really. People's thoughts on Mike, as Van Gaal called him.
I think Mike was struggling at the start of last season, but
yeah,
that's when we had like back three and all that, and people did not know what they were doing.
Blackett, McNair, and Carrick, and
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of talk about us getting a centre back in, but it was only like about 6 games, wasn't it, last season when we really stepped up. But the defence looked good in that run. So far, it's been okay as well.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, I don't know. Smalling's okay for me. I'm happy to have him around.
Yeah, fantastic. Emergency question: Johnny Evans, keep or sell?
I don't think it's even a question, is it? It's simply sell.
Yeah,
I just think that question needs to get in the sea.
Yeah, you think it's decided?
It's decided.
I can't see the last time he contributed for us.
Paul, you're a bit of a...
I know this guy's got a few...
You're a closet fan, aren't you, of Jonathan Evans?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I would say the answer to the question is sell. I would sell him. But not for dirt, though. I've heard a lot of people saying like a swap deal, which would obviously be good, but obviously I think he's not going to contribute much more at United. I think it's a shame, because I remember a lot of people, including people in this room, were only 2 or 3 seasons ago saying how good he was, but he's obviously not developed, and I think we do need to get rid of him, but not for, we shouldn't get rid of him for peanuts. I'm not going to quite put a figure on it.
But I saw, I think 12/13 million was in the papers today.
I'll take it.
But people were saying no to that, apparently, which I can understand, obviously.
Off the top of my head, I'd say 6 or 7, but
Everton,
no lower than that.
Everton, West Brom, seen Everton. We'll see.
Oh, we don't want a Raphael for a couple of peanuts and a paperclip.
That's what I mean.
I think his contract's up next summer.
Well,
so we need to get rid of him now.
Yeah, that's fine. Right, well, that leads us to the transfer zone. So, going over to Matthew Shaw. I think you've got some transfer rumours for us.
Well, I think the big one today was to me, it's just a ridiculous shout, but I think they're scraping the barrel of it, the Express, but this Muller, desperate to play for United.
No quotes, but yeah.
Just something they've heard on Twitter, probably. Obviously we're taking.
Yeah,
definitely. But I mean that's just not going to happen. The other one's Pedro, obviously, that just keeps rumbling on, and the longer it rumbles on, the more you're worried about City coming in.
Yeah,
because De Bruyne, nothing's happening there. 22 million, isn't it, Pedro? There's a few little rumblings about him worried about working with Van Gaal and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think we should get him in.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's not a huge amount of news. Otamendi obviously was from what I've heard was just a complete non-starter.
Never on the cards.
Yeah. That sounds.
But he's refusing to play for Valencia, I've heard as well, to stop him getting himself injured. So I don't know who's going to come in for him. He's going to look a bit stupid if he's.
I think his agent's been stirring the pot there, hasn't he, a little bit?
Yeah.
Such there, isn't it?
Yeah. And then the last one, obviously, is De Gea, whatever. And what's happening?
I think Romero's looked all right. I mean, he's not been hugely tested. A couple of good saves against Spurs. Looked pretty good in the air. We all thought he'd struggled in the air. So far, he's looked okay. Not been tested too much, but he's looked accomplished, I think, so far. Don't know people's thoughts.
It's looked okay so far, but
I don't trust him.
No.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't know why, but I just don't.
But
that's probably judging.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because he, in his club career, he's generally always been a backup keeper, but then he's got, I don't know the figures to hand. He's got 60 caps or so for Argentina. So, amongst a fairly poor selection of Argentinian keepers, albeit, but he's had a lot of international experience.
I think De Gea will be back in when the transfer window shuts, but it's not unlike Van Gaal to come out with some stunt like this.
No. I read today De Gea's now training with the first team again. Whether there's anything in that, I don't know. I think probably we do have to sit tight for 2 weeks, don't we, and wait for the transfer window to close. But we will see. So I think that sort of wraps the transfer news up for now, which is fine. Which brings us on to Thought of the Week.
Whoa!
Can't wait for this.
Here we go.
So much stuff.
Every week, Sutton will be coming up with his Thought of the Week, which might not necessarily be football related.
It is sport related this week, though.
It's going to have our brains.
And it's tennis related.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
Oh, wow!
Some fairly big tennis fans in the room as well, we should say.
I love tennis.
I just want to say that this thought will be great.
It's quite
That's all I
philosophical.
want to say.
And it's something that I have thought about before.
Wow.
And I actually don't know the answer, so it's more of a question.
Got some paracetamol.
Right.
But, right, we all know the serve is a big part in tennis.
Right.
And every now and then you get some freaks come along that can absolutely boss the serve.
Yeah.
My question is, as time goes on, humans get more advanced, right? Get taller.
Yeah.
Will there become a point where the rules of tennis have to change, i.e. nets get taller, to stop 8-foot humans or whatever absolutely dominating the game with serves?
Well, I love that question. The one thing I will say to that, and it is a good question.
8 foot.
Do you know what I mean?
2 point. Can I make 2 points to that?
Yeah.
The first point was it was suggested. I'm not sure how long ago. A couple of maybe 2 or 3 years ago, is that tennis went down to having one serve, so you would not get a second serve. So therefore, if you missed the first, you'd lose the point. And the other point to make is that humans are getting more advanced. Look at the 100 metres, for example. Times just keep getting shorter and shorter and shorter. But the reflexes and kind of skill of the returner are also increasing as well. So yeah, servers are getting harder and more accurate, but returners are also getting more savvy and aware and good, flexibility and stuff to be able to get the returns back.
Yeah.
So I would say it sort of evens itself out. I do know what you mean, though. I do know what you mean.
I think the question is, will people get penalised? Will the nets go higher for tall people? Yeah. Do we think that?
I'm not sure how that would work with winding up and winding it down. And stuff.
It's a bit fascist.
Yeah.
It's sort of like,
it's not for specific people. It's not like
No, not specifically, but in effect, we're penalising these tall servers.
We're not penalising anyone. It's just
But we're not penalising the small servers.
I'm just sort of saying,
It's it, net.
you go back a couple hundred years, the average height of humans is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
It might get to the stage where people are serving in tennis like it's a table tennis table. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
And it could get ridiculous.
Are you saying
And
are you saying 20 years, 30 years, 50 years in advance?
We're talking a long way in advance here.
In 30 years, 40 years, changes will definitely be made. Look at the Hawkeye system. People would have laughed at you about 20 years ago for that, and it's happened now. And it's been a really big success. So I'm sure if it becomes ridiculous, and yet there are big people doing aces every single time, some kind of change will be made. But I'm not going to worry about it in my life.
So, a quick whip around the table. Will nets get higher / changes be made? Yes or no?
In the next X years or forever?
100 years?
100 years. 100 years is a long time. Go on, yes.
I'll go yes.
I think changes could be made, but the nets won't. But it won't be the nets being
So no.
made, though.
I think if it's the nets, it's the court size, it's everything. Is it not?
If you increase the nets, you've got to different things as well.
You sort of avoided the yes and no there. But,
sorry about that.
Will the net height change in 100 years? Yes or no?
I thought my bum felt a bit sore from that fence. No, I'd say no.
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 So and you said yes.
And you're no. So
we're fully on the fence.
So yeah. So
split down the middle.
pretty happy with that question.
We need some tweets. We need to get this sorted.
Thank you.
It's all right.
Right.
Things need sorting.
That was the thought of the week. Thank you for that. Okay, this brings us on to game time with Paul Costello. Each week, Paul will be doing a series of games. I think he'll explain to you.
Yeah, really quick explanation is
Quick, yeah.
quick as possible. Every week there's going to be a game. We've got Matt, we've got Sutty, we've got Watson. They're all going to play against each other as individuals. Games are going to change every week. This week it's true or false. The title of the game is, "You alright, mate? Do you know if this is true or false?" 5 questions. 5 questions. You get choice of a bonus round. All the questions are about football, apart from the bonus round. It's your choice. You take the bonus round. Get the bonus right, it's an extra 2 points. Get this bonus wrong, it's minus 2 points. So it's up to you. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, 0 for a loss, 3 people. We pulled out some names out of the hat before, and I do believe it's John Watson to go first, your host, who's done a good job so far. Ready?
Ready as you'll ever be.
There's no time limit on it, but true or false doesn't require a long time. Okay, let's go. Everton have always been in the Premier League since it began.
True.
Question number 2. Yaya Toure played against Manchester United in the 2009 Champions League final in Rome.
True.
I'm just writing down your response. David Beckham never scored against Liverpool. True or false?
False.
Next question. Graham Souness was manager of Galatasaray.
True. It's going to be fairly butt cheek, isn't it?
Last and final question. Alex Ferguson is Aberdeen's longest serving manager.
I'm going to go false on that.
False.
Okay. Got to be someone over
That's an
there.
interesting one.
Yeah, good question.
Right, I'm just going to quickly work that out.
Okay.
Did you enjoy that or not? I'm just on.
Yeah.
Just,
We obviously need the answers, don't we?
yeah, I'm going to
For the people at home.
doing it right now.
Yep, I think they're waiting.
Just go through them as you mark input.
Yep,
There's
can do.
5 questions, but, take
Okay,
time.
just wanted to take them off and stuff. You got 4 out of 5.
Fantastic.
That's good. First one, you said Everton have always been in the Premier League since it started. You said true. It is true. Well done. Yaya Toure played against United. 2009 Champions League final was true. He played at centre back in place of Carlos Puyol. David Beckham never scored against Liverpool. You went false.
It's true, isn't it?
No. It's false. He did score against Liverpool.
Wow.
1997 scored a free kick. Graham Souness was manager of Galatasaray. That's true. Well done. You got that. But the final one, Alex Ferguson is Aberdeen's longest serving manager.
Wow.
He actually is.
Do you know how many years top you're
I
at?
don't know, to be honest with you. I'm going to say about 7, but that might be wrong.
Something to find out for next week.
It's not a great deal.
Bonus question, or are we doing
Yeah, bonus question now. So if you want, I've got option of 3 bonus questions. You say number 1, 2, or 3. If you get it right, extra 2. If you get it wrong, -2. Would you like your bonus question? You don't have to. It's up to you. You got 4 out of 5, so it's your shout.
I know all the viewers will be shouting gamble down their radio
Gamble.
and down their laptop.
Gamble.
So I'm actually going to stick on 4.
Oh, wow.
Well done. So John got 4. That's circle. That's
So wet.
Okay.
Say what you like.
Matt, sure. It's your question there. So
Okay.
put down that Peroni and we can get on with it. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
So product placement there, so other beers are available.
Yeah, something like that.
Marco Salas played for Inter Milan at some point in his career.
Zamorano did. Did he play with Salas played for Juve? Lazio, was it?
I think the time is coming on.
Sure.
I'd say true.
True? Okay. Hendrik Larsson played for Feyenoord before Celtic.
I can't remember, but I'm going to say true.
Pedro scored in the 2011 Champions League final.
True.
Andrei Kanchelskis played for Aston Villa after Manchester United.
No, it was Everton. Right?
The Hillsborough disaster was in 1991.
That's false.
Okay.
89 maybe.
You got 4 out of 5 as well, Matty. First one was Marco Salas didn't play for Inter Milan. The rest of them were right. So you got the Hendrik Larsson one right, you got the Pedro one right. That was the 3-1 Champions League final. He scored the first goal. Kanchelskis played for Everton. You were right about that as well. The Hillsborough disaster was in 89, the year that we were all born, I think. Yeah. So at the minute you're drawing with John.
Right.
So I mean, you both still can win. So if Sutty gets less, then obviously you both get 3 points. But do you want to get a bonus? With bonus, you say 1, 2, or 3. I've got 3 questions.
Are these really like hard questions? These bonus ones, Paul?
They're
Or
a bit more difficult, but
I see.
they're still true or false though. So it's still 50-50.
It's general knowledge as well, isn't it?
Actually, no, they're not true or false. You need to give an answer to this one. They're not mental.
Right.
They're really not.
I'm just looking at the look in your face there. And, go on, Sutton. You go. I'll take a gamble. I think 4 out of 5.
What-
is
sorry,
okay,
what-
isn't it?
What are you doing?
Takes a gamble to me suggest you're going for it. Though.
So you're sticking?
Yeah.
You're sticking, yeah?
Go on then. Let's do it.
Okay, well done, Matt. So, do you want question number 1, question number 2, question number 3?
Oh, dear, oh dear. 2.
Okay, question number 2. The Football World Cup, France 1998, England win the groups. Can you name 2 teams that were in groups with us in 1998?
That's an easy question.
Colombia.
That's 1.
And was that the
You'll have to take your next answer.
Tunisia?
Fine answer?
Yeah.
And,
Well done.
and Romania.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
So you get extra 2 there.
Oh, storming into the lead.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so you're on 6.
I've got 6 to beat. That's a lot, isn't it?
So at the minute, Shaw's getting the 3 points, Watson's getting the 1, Adam's
Right, here we go.
Right, okay, questions. Let's get this sorted out. In the FA Cup semi-final replay in 1999, Anelka scored Arsenal's 1 goal against United. True or false?
False. Bergkamp, I think.
Kagawa scored a hat-trick for United.
True.
Mendieta played for Valencia before Lazio. So Mendieta was at Lazio. Who did he play at before? Was it Valencia? True or false?
I'm going to say true.
Alan Shearer played in 2 FA Cup finals against Manchester United in his career.
Ooh.
Good question.
FA Cup finals. I'm going to say false.
In the 2008 Champions League final, Champions League semi-final,
Yeah.
the score in the home leg was 1-1. United were involved. True or false? So in the 2008 Champions League semi-final, the score in the home leg at Old Trafford.
Yeah, we played Arsenal in 2008,
The
didn't
score
we?
was 1-1. True or false?
Remember we beat them away quite convincingly. And I think we were already ahead. I think we were ahead. I think false.
He's lost his head.
I think false, because I think we were already ahead going into the second leg.
It was 1-1. You got all 5 right. Well done.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So now the scores are: Matt's got the 3 points, Adam's got the 1 point, Watson's got 0 points. If you get
I'm simply going to have to gamble, yeah,
Okay.
for the viewers and for myself.
Question 1 or 3.
Question 3.
Okay. The Olympic Games in 1988 were held in which city?
88.
Yeah.
Rubbish at this sort of stuff.
The Olympic Games in 1998.
1998.
Sorry, let me start that again. 1988.
I was going to say.
Well, there weren't no Olympics in
Yeah,
that year.
yeah. So 88. I'm so bad when it comes to stuff like this. I'm going to guess San Francisco, which I think.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my guess.
I'd have gone.
Okay, it's false. Anyone else any ideas quickly?
I'd have gone Atlanta.
No, 1996. Good try.
Um,
Any ideas? Sure, just for fun. There's no points available.
Moscow.
No, that was 76. The answer was Seattle, the capital of South Korea.
Yeah.
So,
Still, all right.
yeah. So situation. How do you?
Still. So.
Okay, whatever. So Sutty gets 2 points minus, which breaks.
Which thing is right? Okay.
Okay, so
That's a shame.
That's the gamble for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a shame, that.
Matt Shaw gets the 3 points. John Watson gets the 1 point. Adam Sutton's on the 0 points.
But has the moral victory. So
Wow.
Depends.
right. So
Right.
yeah. So that's
Well,
it.
that's the game of this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Another one next week. Hope you look forward to it.
Fantastic.
Can't wait. ITV prime time, here we come.
Do we need an emergency question? I think we might. Just briefly, best Dutchman to don the United shirt.
Great
Best
question.
Dutchman.
To don the United shirt.
Great question.
I'm gonna go Van Nistelrooy. I was a huge fan.
You've got Stam, you've got Van Sar, Van Nistelrooy.
I just Nistelrooy was almost a goal a game for us. He really was, and I just at that time we weren't playing particularly well, but he was just in the box scoring goals, Beckham whipping him in. I loved him.
Everyone agree?
I put him second to, but I put Van der Sar first personally.
Van der Sar.
That would be my choice. But yeah,
Champions League winner, Van der
Champions
Sar.
League winner, and just like we need. Yeah, obviously there's no argument against Van der Sar, but I would go him second and Van der Sar.
Sure.
first.
It's hard to compare goalkeepers and strikers,
Yeah,
isn't it?
It is.
But I was a big fan of Van Nistelrooy at the time. Looking back, maybe he did hamper us a little bit. People were saying that,
Yeah.
because he was kind of in that transition when we had like poaching strikers and then the Drogba strikers kind of came in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably still stick with him.
So not Jordi Cruyff.
Probably not.
No, right, okay.
Not so much.
Right,
Okay.
I
Thanks for that
for the
suggestion.
record, I agree. I want Van Nistelrooy in there, so that's fine. Right, looking ahead to the next game, United host Club Brugge in their Champions League qualifier on Tuesday evening. For the record, 3 of us will be in attendance at the game.
I'm one.
And we will be taking
Cheers, Bob.
we'll be taking detailed notes, of course. So, how do we think United will fare, and how much do we know about Club Brugge?
Club Brugge, they've started a little slowly. Well, I say a little slowly. They are third, but they've only scored 6 goals in 4 games. And, you know, they lost against Panathinaikos as well.
Ugh.
I think we got away with a decent draw there with Club Brugge. If we can't beat them over 2 legs, then we simply don't deserve to be in the Champions League.
Definitely, yeah, I agree.
So, what are our predictions?
I'm not even going to say with all respect to Club Brugge. No. I just think we should beat them.
2-0.
I don't respect them that much.
2-0.
I just hope possession-wise we hit over 70%. We just dominate it at home. I really do.
We'll just be stronger.
1-0, 2-0 would be fine.
Fantastic. 2-0. Yeah.
I think Schweinsteiger will be planted in there from the start.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll start.
I think that'll be the game he starts.
Yeah, no, I agree. Probably been gearing towards that. So I think that covers everything, really. That's just about all we've got time for this time. So it just leaves me to say thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week on The Red View.